lick. It's a country lick, but it doesn't have to be a country lick, right? It's a useful thing to know because we're outlining 3 dominant 7 triads of C, F, and G, right? So you start out here, you have your C7, your F7, and your G7. It's like 1-4-5 blues, right? So you don't have to make it country. You know, you could outline it instead of doing like this. You can just use it as a lick to pass by and get into a lick, you know. You know, it doesn't have to sound country. So mess around with that. So the licks themselves, you're going to have your C7. You're going to hit 6 on high E, pull off 8 to 6 on B, and then catch 9 on G. And we're going to hybrid pick these. So pop the high E with your finger and use your pick on everything else. Okay, and then just keep your right hand flat on top of those E, A, and D strings so nothing rings out, right? Then we're going to go down to your F7, and we're just going to have 5 on E, pull off 6 to 5 on B, and then catch 8 on G. Okay, and then we're going to take that same shape up 2 frets to 10, 8, 7. And we're just going to have 7 on E, and we're going to pull off 8 to 7 on B, and catch 10 on G. Finish on just the C major triad, 9, 8, 8. Alright, so real slow each time you get. Alright, and so just work on these real slow with a metronome, right? Just start at like 50 beats a minute, 55, whatever. You know, you can practice too slow. There's a point where it gets too slow and you're like waiting on the beat and it messes you up, right? So find a good groove where it's not too slow and it's not too fast that you can keep pace at. And then just sit there and practice hitting the click. You can even emphasize each little. Just try getting those clean and even, right? And this will build up the strength in your hand and in your fingers, right? Because I truly believe that the reason that the guitar players that we all love and look up to sound the way that they sound is because of the strength of their hand, the strength of their fingers. And you can only get that kind of strength from playing guitar all day, every day for 25, 30 plus years, right? You see guys like Joe Bonamassa, Josh Smith, John Mayer, all these guys that started when they were like, you know, less than 10 years old, right? And so think about that. Like now they're in their 40s. So they've been playing guitar 10 hours a day every single day of their life for 30 plus years, right? You just can't catch up to that kind of muscle maturity, right? It's just like working out and lifting weights, right? Like, you know, if you're 18, 19, and you've only been lifting weights a couple of years, and there's some guy who's 40 something, and he's been doing it every day since he was a teenager, like you just can't catch up to that kind of stuff, right? Like, so there's just something to be said for like when you hear that tone, people say, you know, it's a cliche thing, like tone is all in your hands. Well, like 75% of it is, you know, it really is. And what you hear is not like their technique. It's not the way they, you know, their vibrato and all that stuff. It's a combination of that, but it's really how strong their hand is. So when they go to hit a bend, you know, you hear that because they're strong. You know, you can tell. You can hear it, right? So there's something to be said for just practicing over and over again, getting your hands strong. And I've found nothing's more true than with pull-offs, right? It really takes a lot of practice with pulling off to get your fingers strong and the dexterity to a place where it becomes a little more effortless, right? So just keep that in mind and just practice slow, have fun.